Once I break his balance and I go this way, he is right here. He's not over there. I stay close. Here. Makes it too easy. So,
ouais. Bonjour à tous, bienvenue ici donc à la chapelle de la Reine, dans le dojo d'Adrien. Donc on a le plaisir d'accueillir le professeur voilà, et le grand maître Higginbotham, grand master Earl Tullis, grand master Nom Johnson, voilà, donc Londres, Indiana, Texas, Californie, donc voilà, par-delà des grandes distances. Ils sont là pour vous faire apprendre, pour découvrir le Small Circle Jujitsu. Et le maître mot, je dirais, c'est vous faire plaisir. Voilà. Prenez plaisir dans ce que vous faites. Vous apprendrez davantage. Professeur Jay, the floor is yours.
So, for us, finger locks are very powerful.
Pour nous, les clés de doigts, c'est quelque chose qui est très puissant.
For small, young, big people,
les clés de doigts, ça marche pour toutes les corpulences et pour tous les âges.
Fingers are weak. I live in England.
Les doigts sont faibles.
I live in England and many of my friends are doctors. I went to a party where they had been in London examining live brain scans and the active part of how the body is active in the mind. When it came to the hands and fingers, they said 75% was active.
En fait, le professeur Longé est allé dans un centre neurologique hospitalier pour voir comment le cerveau était activé en fonction des zones du corps qu'on travaillait. En fait. On s'est rendu compte qu'en travaillant sur les doigts, 75% du cerveau était activé.
We have different receptors.
Quand on travaille sur les doigts, ça sature le cerveau en fait en information.
But there is a method to it that you have to understand, and it is fulcrum, lever. It's not lever fulcrum. It's fulcrum lever.
Après, quand vous faites votre clé de doigt, vous avez un sens. D'abord, activer le point d'appui, ensuite faire le levier. Et pas l'inverse.
And base.
Et ensuite une base.
If I take it straight down, and he knows to grab, go.
Frappe sur sa jambe.
Yeah? Because now everybody wants to grapple. Yeah? They want to take it to the ground.
Aujourd'hui, tout le monde veut faire du ground and pound.
Yeah? What did I miss? The first principle, balance.
Qu'est-ce que j'ai raté? Les
He's
premiers
still on
principes
balance.
d'équilibre.
If I cut it this way, can you kick me? Can you punch me? I'm Professor Leon J., son of Professor Wally J.
Okay, and can you also take this opportunity to introduce your father, founder of Small Circle Jujitsu?
Yeah, my father, Professor Wally J., was born in Hawaii in 1917 and started boxing under Jimmy Mitchell, and then later started training in Danzanru Jiu-Jitsu, or Korenkan Jiu-Jitsu. He and my mother, Bernice J., she was actually a third-degree black belt when I was born. And so my father was just an amazing teacher as well, and taught for many, many years, up into and through his 90s. He's taught everybody, Dan Inosanto, Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, you name it, he's been there and he's done that. So, but his innovation is what made him famous. for his ability to see how to improve and tighten up techniques, but also his ability to extract the best out of each person, because he not only did jiu-jitsu, he was also a judo instructor, and he had something like 37 national champions under his belt. So. Okay.
So you talked about Danzanryu. Vous avez parlé de l'école Danzanryu, qui est à Hawaï, which is in Hawaii. How the Hawaiian culture influenced or still influencing Small Circle Jujitsu, I will translate into French. Comment la culture hawaïenne influence peut-être encore aujourd'hui le Small Circle Jujitsu?
Well, we moved from Hawaii to California. In the beginning, for Okazaki Sensei, because that was Hawaii is like a melting pot for everybody. The Filipinos, the Japanese, the Chinese, all came there. So many different cultures came through Hawaii, and so the abilities to understand and mix some of the techniques together and see was really very beneficial.
Okay, and I heard that in Small Circle Jiu-Jitsu you have two pillar values, kokua and ohana. Can you detail a little bit more? I will translate into French.
Well,
dans la culture hawaïenne, il y a dans le Small Circle Jujitsu, il y a deux valeurs piliers, le ohana et le kokua. Est-ce que vous pouvez détailler un petit peu plus, s'il vous plaît?
Yeah, kokua is the friendship, the bond that we create when we work together and are together. You know, the ohana is the family values that we carry through with each other. I mean, it's very Hawaiian style. I mean, Hawaiians were very giving. I mean, if a woman couldn't have a baby, another woman would have a baby and give it to her.
Okay. Let's go back to the art itself, to the Small Circle Jujitsu. Retournons à l'art plus précisément, au Small Circle Jujitsu. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous dire davantage sur ce que c'est que la théorie du Small Circle, du petit cercle? Can you tell us a little more about the Small Circle theory?
Theory? Well, it's not a theory anymore. It's actually established as a fact. I mean, there are 16 principles. Now, my father created the first 10 principles for us, but we've elaborated on that. That gives us the understanding of the art instead of just monkey see, monkey do. You know, instead of just crash bang wallop, we really get into the precision of the art. You know, and working with the body mechanics, the anatomy of the body, the pressure points in the body, like that kind of thing. So.
Okay. Interesting.
I think so.
Okay, I speak in French and then in English. Qu'est-ce qui fait que le Small Circle Jujitsu est considéré, vous pouvez considérer comme un art martial moderne par opposition aux arts martiaux qui ont une doctrine plus traditionnelle? What makes Small Circle Jujitsu a modern martial art, according to you, as opposed to martial arts that have a more traditional doctrine?
Well, there's nothing wrong with tradition. That has its place, but we tend to move along with the times. As I mean, back in the days when the Japanese were fighting each other, and they were about that tall, but now we're meeting people like this and like that, and you know, different styles of fighting. You know, we have to adapt with the times. So we have.
Okay. La plupart des arts martiaux ont des katas. Le Small Circle Jujitsu n'en a pas. Pourquoi cette particularité? Most martial arts have katas. Small Circle Jujitsu does not. Why this particularity?
Well, first of all, I can't remember katas. That's one thing. But the thing is that with Small Circle Jujitsu, we tend to be fluid. We like to move. You know, I mean, we do it through our technique and also our transitional flows. It's actually, if you look at it, our transitions, our transitional flow techniques that we do are a form of kata. So that's the transitional flow.
C'est ce qu'on appelle un flux de transition. Transitional flow. C'est le 10e principe du Small Circle Jujitsu. Donc, pousser les mains vers le visage, en général, les gens ont tendance à ouvrir les mains. Pas tout le temps, mais c'est une opportunité.
Then to take the backhand into the face this way. be careful here because we are friends.
Donc faites attention ici parce
If I smash this in his face, we will not be friends long.
qu'on est des amis. On est des amis. Donc voilà.
If I miss this, this doesn't open. It's okay. I capture this here. This is tenodesis, the ability to clasp your fingers.
Donc ça s'appelle tenodesis, l'habilité de rejoindre ses doigts, en fait, mettre ses doigts autour de son pouce.
Index knuckle.
Donc on appuie sur la jointure de l'index. Permet d'ouvrir la main en fait. Parce qu'on tire sur les tendons, sur les tissus.
Do it to yourself. You feel. Try to close your. Practice this.
On travaille les points de pression avec les enfants de cette manière. On les apprenne à être précis sur les poignets, sur le dos de la main.
My father had us doing this forever. Just all these things. Just over and over and over. Right now, just touch, change, touch, change, touch, 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 touch. You have to relax. You must be relaxed. If you're stiff inside of you, that's one of the things. The monkey paw. Forearms inside here. Now, also, we talked about this earlier. When you, if I hit like this, that's one thing. But when I hit like this, it fires off different sensors on the skin.
Donc de cette façon de frapper, en fait, ça allume différents senseurs sur la peau.
It actually stops the person momentarily. So
ça arrête la personne à un moment donné.
Yeah, feel that? Fires off many more sensors.
Bien rouge.
This is uncomfortable. Forward. We can also move this way. You saw this today. Move this way. Yeah. We can also just crash inside. Take it up. Lower it inside. If that doesn't work this way, you lock it here. And then just put this in here. You pull it back. To me. This way, you know, it's too easy to use. Here, 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 here. Okay.
D'un côté et de l'autre. Bring back good memories.
Est-ce que vous considérez le Small Circle Jujitsu comme un art martial pur ou un système de self-défense comme le Krav Maga par exemple? Quelle est votre vision sur ce point? Do you consider Small Circle Jujitsu as a pure martial art or a self-defense system like Krav Maga for instance? What is your opinion? What is your vision on this point of your art?
Well, it's fluid. It's always changing. I mean, there are no perfect systems. I don't care what anybody says. My father was very clear on that. If anybody says that their system is complete, they're full of bull. That's his exact words. And the thing is that for us, like I said before, change is okay. I have no problem with that. I mean, I learn from children. I look, and a little child comes up and shows me something that I've been doing that they improved on. We'll adopt that. We'll do it. I mean, you can't argue with success, man.
Ok. Qu'est-ce que c'était de vivre avec votre père, martialement parlant, de le suivre et de s'entraîner avec lui au quotidien? How was to live with your father, martially speaking, following him and train with him?
In the early days, it was a nightmare because we trained 5 days a week and did tournaments every weekend. And my father had one of the strongest judo teams in the country. It was hard. It was really hard training in that area. My brothers, sisters, and cousins were all 10 years plus older than me, all black belts. So I came along a little later. But later, when I went into karate and other things, I found the training that my father gave me just worked so well in the other arts that I was doing. Traveling with my father was amazing because I got to meet some of the greatest masters in martial arts that there are, and they taught me many things that they didn't teach other people.
Ok. Au début des années 60, votre père entretenait une relation de travail avec Bruce Lee. Quel était ce genre de relation? Est-ce que c'était une relation de maître à élève ou c'était une relation d'égal à égal? Your father in the early 60s had a connection with Bruce Lee. Was it like father and son relation or father or teacher and student relation, or more equal relation they have, martially speaking also?
Yeah, it was more of an equal thing. Although my father was much older, he saw Bruce as just so amazing. My father would teach him something and then he'd come back. He'd get it the first time.
Okay.
We'd get it the first time. And next time my father saw him, he had improved it as well. And so when they got together, they just kept working on the power in the wrist, how the movements, and how the body is fluid. I mean, it was a fun time. I mean, I was just a child, but we all saw something different in him.
Ok. Parlons un peu de vous, un peu plus, si vous le permettez. Pourquoi avez-vous choisi de suivre les pas de votre père et de continuer à développer le Small Circle Jujitsu? A little more personal question, if I may. Why did you choose to follow your father's footsteps in the development of Small Circle Jujitsu?
Because it's cool, man. No, I mean, Small Circle Jujitsu it's evolving. It's organic. It keeps growing. You know, the people that we have in it now are wonderful people that keep giving. We share. I mean, very Hawaiian style, we share things. We're not stingy and greedy about it. And that's what's helping us do that. And that I found different in some other arts. They don't want to share, they want to keep secrets, they want to be stingy with things, power plays, too much ego. I mean, that's not for me. My father's art is different from that. And that's the people in the art as well.
Ok, ok. Quel conseil donneriez-vous à quelqu'un qui voudrait pratiquer le Small Circle Jujitsu? What advice would you give to someone who would like to practice Small Circle Jujitsu for the first time?
Do it. I mean, Small Circle Jujitsu. It's powerful, but it's not that difficult to do in the beginning. I mean, if you study the principles, understand the principles of Small Circle Jujitsu. Don't just look and try to copy. If you understand the principles in the principles are used in more than just Jiu-Jitsu. My father's taught it in over 40 countries. And we have Kung Fu people who use our principles, Karate people who use our principles. We used it in Judo, Jiu-Jitsu. So if you work principle-based, then you have a better understanding of how to move and improve your art.
Okay. And one final question. Any last word you would like to say? Anything to add to the audience, to people who would like to practice Small Circle Jiu-Jitsu in general?
Other than mahalo, aloha, and I'll see you on the mat.
Thank you, Professor.